The United Nations General Assembly kicks off its high-level week today. Roughly 140 world leaders are gathering in New York City to discuss a variety of issues, including the wars in Ukraine, Gaza, and Sudan. President Biden, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are all slated to speak this week. Biden's speech tomorrow will likely mark his final major appearance on the world stage. Let's bring in Sam Vinograd. She is a CBS News national security contributor who formerly served as the Assistant Secretary for Counterterrorism and Threat Prevention at the Department of Homeland Security. Sam, good to see you. First of all, can you talk to us about the security in New York City to secure such an event?
Well, this is the most complex security event that the U.S. federal government deals with in any given year. The crime situation in New York, the counterterrorism situation in New York is complex to begin with. And we now have over 140 world leaders and their delegations in New York City with their own unique set of respective security threats. And that is why the UN General Assembly has been designated what is called the National Special Security Event. That means that the U.S. Secret Service, who's been in the news a lot lately, is in charge of the overall coordination and planning for securing the UN General Assembly. The Federal Aviation Administration has shut down airspace over New York City. The U.S. Coast Guard has prohibited activity in the East River. And there's a joint operations center with the FBI, the UN Safety and Security Office, as well as connectivity to the State Department, DOD, and Foreign Security Services to gather intelligence, to conduct surveillance, and, if necessary, to respond to any threats that may arise.
A fascinating peek behind the curtain of how to secure such an event like this. Let's talk about the meat and potatoes of this week. How will the wars in the Middle East and Ukraine shape some of the speeches we're going to hear?
Well, the UN Secretary General has already said that his word of the week is compromise. There's a deep hope by UN leadership, as well as many world leaders, that there will be some sort of compromise that could lead to an end in fighting in the Middle East. On Ukraine, it is not likely that we're going to see any material shift by Russia, not only because Vladimir Putin hasn't showed up at the General Assembly since 2015, he's sending his foreign minister, and there's unlikely to be much movement there. Now, the UN Security Council is holding a special briefing on Ukraine to discuss the situation there, but it's unlikely we're going to see much movement. Where I do think we'll see action is in what we call the bilats, the bilateral meetings. There is a formal program of speeches that kick off tomorrow, but the meetings on the margins of the General Assembly between world leaders that we don't actually get to listen to or take part in is likely where we'll see the more substantive discussions.
I want to know about that. What happens in those meetings?
Well, many of them are scripted. I've been in my fair share. But there's typically a set of agreed upon topics, and we should expect in some of these meetings, both for President Biden and for his Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, we should see a push on high-level negotiations on Israel-Gaza, Israel-Lebanon, and ostensibly on more support for Ukraine. We should expect that President Biden and Tony Blinken in their meetings to speak with allies, for example, about what could actually shift the tide of the war in Ukraine, what additional authorities and resources are needed, and more.
Before you go, the FBI just released its 2023 crime report this morning. It shows violent crime dropped between 2022 and 2023. We know this has come up in some of the campaigning and some elections, how safe people feel. What do the numbers show us?
Well, it has come up. Mr. Trump has indicated that crime is through the roof, but the FBI crime statistics do tell a different story. The FBI crime statistics show that after a surge in violent crime, particularly in homicides during 2020, last year, we saw a 3% decline in violent crime overall. So in summary, Lindsay, violent crime is declining in this country after a surge in 2020, in particular homicide, rape, and other forms of violent crime. Now, interestingly, motor theft was up last year, but overall, particularly in large municipalities, big jurisdictions, we have seen a continued downward trend in violent crimes in this country.
Sam Vinograd, thank you so much.
Thank you.